Meet Zoomlock, the 10-second flame-free refrigerant fitting from Parker. Reduce labor costs by 60% with no brazing, no flame, and no fire spotter. Discover how Zoomlock can help you be more efficient and productive. Visit Zoomlock.com for more information.
Hey guys, this is Zach with the Working Joes podcast, also with the Cowboys of HVAC podcast, also with Working Joes Roundtable on YouTube, so I wear many hats. We're going to talk a little bit about a package I received a few days ago from the Quickswap guys. Qwik products, have the Qwik Lugs, and you know them. I'm going to hold it up here. Here's one of the products right here. You can see Qwik products. Qwik products is something I've used for a long time. I've used their acid test. I used some other circuit boards. We're going to take a little peek at the products they sent me about a week ago. We're going to test these products out. I'm going to let you know what I think of them. I'm going to give you some initial thoughts on each one real quick here. And then as the weeks go by, we'll test them out in the field as time arises, because sometimes it's going to take a specific service call to warrant one of these tests. So we're going to go one by one and show the products so you can get a familiarity with them. So when you see them in the video, you know what I'm talking about. The first product I'm looking at, as you can see off to my side here, is the Quickswap X1 single speed ECM motor replacement. What this is going to do is you're going to have a failed X13 motor, and you're going to swap it over to a PSC motor like you guys see me doing all the time. And this will allow you to use the same plugs that plugged into that ECM motor to make that swap really fast and easy. So you don't have to involve any relays or anything like that. You can just use this little board and you'll be good to go. So that's a really cool product right off the bat, and something that I will likely use rather soon because that is a project I do quite often. Now we can see the Qwik Lugs. Qwik Lugs, 10 gauge, 2-foot wiring length for repairing compressor terminals. A lot of times you have a damaged terminal and you can't fit the Stay-Con or the flag terminal back on there again, so you'll need something to help you repair it. Now, I have used Qwik Lugs in the past. They've worked very well. I've used them for several years now, so we're gonna, I'm sure, use those again to repair a compressor terminal. I actually have videos in the past when I did videos with my GoPro where I actually used the Qwik Lugs to replace the existing wiring, which couldn't go back because of the damaged terminals. So I'm sure we'll get into that again. That's a product a lot of us are familiar with. So as we go through the service calls, I'm sure we'll use that again. You can see how they're put into place, but that's also proven in the past. The next product I received, you see here, is the Quicksear Watt Saver. First thing we see is there's a 1-year warranty on the Quicksear Watt Saver. And the box says, affordable blower and speed control for energy savings and humidity control. And I believe, I haven't used this one in the past, but I'm kind of familiar with it because I think Dr. Zarkloff used it at one point years ago on his air conditioner. I do believe it'll change blower speeds depending on what the humidity level is. I'm going to flip the box over here and take a peek at it. It has a thermistor you add to the evaporator. It just goes through how to install it. But it looks like it's going to help control humidity better. When you had a single speed PSC motor before, you can now control it in a way where you can address humidity issues. So it's kind of cool. I might actually put this one on my own house because I have an oversized unit, and we can test it out firsthand there and see how it works. Now, as you can see, we have two different products right here. We have the Qwik Glow Pro Universal UV Fluorescent Leak Detection Additive and Qwik Seal ACR Leak Sealant with Drying Agent. So I don't know if this is comparable to Easy Seal and Easy Dry. I'll read up more about this. I am naturally skeptical of sealing products. We recently talked to James Bowman on the Working Joes podcast about leak freeze with Magic Frost. My partner Ralph was sold on it. I'm still skeptical. Anything that's a leak sealing agent that seems to be almost like a too good to be true, I generally am very skeptical of it because I worry about, polymers and things like that. But we'll investigate both of these products. UV dye I have used in the past. It has worked in the past. It's not typically how I find leaks. I use electronic leak detector. You might even use nitrogen, depending on what size the leak is, depending on how bad off the system is when I come to it. If it's completely empty, then maybe we just use nitrogen and use our eyes and ears to find oil or listen to a sound that we may hear from air escaping or nitrogen escaping. So I will study these products. That's something I'm going to do very seriously because I'm naturally skeptical about leak sealant products. The next product I have here in the lineup is the Quickswap V3. I'm looking at it right here. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to work with Qwik products. Now I have the other boards I've already shown for the X13 motor. This one works with a full variable speed motor. You have a 16-pin harness motor, and even it says we have our 4-pin harness here in the picture. I don't know a whole lot about this, how much it does. I'm looking at it for basically the first time. I've looked at it a couple times here. I'm looking at the box. You know, you guys can see the picture. You see it hooks up to a PSC motor. This is what I love about this, because you can use a more reliable, in my opinion, motor. Although I do believe the full variable speed, like your GE 2.3s and motors like that, are more reliable than X13 motors. In general, I think X13 motors are made cheaply so that you still have an ECM motor, but it's not really the quality of like a GE 2.3. So although I think that you won't have to probably use this board as much as the X13 board, I do believe it'll come in handy because the variable speed motors are extremely expensive, the modules and the motors. So it's kind of nice to have a way to adapt a PSC motor, still get some advantages out of the PSC motor that you would have enjoyed with the full variable speed. So I'll read more about this one. Just taking a quick peek on the back, it just says a money-saving solution to replace a failed constant torque ECM, X13, or Select Tech motor while adding performance, improving variable blower airflow capacity. So we'll see. Obviously, there might be like sensor, or it might take the signals from the 16-pin harness and translate that into a particular blower speed on the PSC motor. For example, I don't know if there's going to be like a Y1, Y2 speed, or W1, W2, where it'll fire off a low and medium, or medium and high. I don't know, but we'll look at it, we'll figure it out, we'll use it in the field, and I'm sure that's going to be an interesting one. Another product that, like the Easy Dry, Easy Seal style products, the leak sealants, I don't use a whole heck of a lot, and I'm very skeptical about, is the flush kits. Flush kits, I've never been, I've used them when they first were really pushed, back when we had our switch over from 410A to 22, and everybody's like, hey, you got to get this oil out of the line, or basically it'd be like the apocalypse or something like that. We've all learned that that's not as critical as we once thought. In fact, my retrofitting procedures on 407C from R22 only entails that I add a certain percentage of POE oil. A lot of you may kind of sit back and say, what? But if you watch some of the other videos, we don't actually change the oil in the compressors. And we're talking about residential style compressors. On oils that are easy to change, such as maybe your commercial compressor, you might do it differently, but on residential, we'll add a certain charge of oil above the existing charge and add 407C. It kind of goes against the original thinking that these oils and having these oils intermingle is a bad thing, which is not actually all that bad. It's just sort of one of those things that, I don't know, old wives' tale, just misleading, just kind of paranoid, perhaps. But we have flush here, and for a while I used flush. I haven't used it in a while because I had concerns that it would stay in the line and cause issues during the vacuum, and really didn't do anything that was beneficial. But I will test it out. I'll try to figure out a test I can do on this particular flush to see how it works. I'll do some research on it. Maybe we'll set up a demonstration. I'll put something in a line, maybe some oil or something like that, maybe some POE or some mineral oil. We'll see. We'll figure something out. We'll test it out, and we'll see what's what. We'll see if I'm mistaken or see if I was right. We have two products left here. I took a picture of it there on the screen. We have filter spray, and we have a Qwik injector. Now, I used to have a Qwik injector. I used it to inject Supco 88 into the system before. I know this is a fine product. This works just fine because I've actually used it in the past. I'll continue to use this one because the one I had went MIA years ago. I haven't used Supco 88 in a while just because I'm afraid to let it turn over in the van, and the van will smell like that, or the truck will smell like that for all of eternity, which would be horrible because it's pretty much the worst thing on earth. I'm pretty sure if you want to get information out of ISIS people, if you spilled Supco 88 around them, they would probably give up whatever you wanted them to know. Filter spray. Never used filter spray in my life. What I'm going to do is the next time I change the filter at my house, I'm going to spray down one half of the filter with the filter spray and the other half without, and we'll give it like a month or two and see what happens. Is that side of the filter loaded more than the side that wasn't sprayed? We'll figure it out. But the guys at Qwik Products are very kind. They sent me all this stuff to test it out. Some of it I'm very excited. Some of it I'm very skeptical about because, like I've stated, some of the stuff I don't tend to use. But we're going to give it a fair shake. We're going to do some testing. We'll do some research. And every bit that I find out and any bit of information will go onto a video on YouTube. We'll put it on the Facebook. So there'll be plenty of information out there for you guys to follow. And we'll see if these products end up being good, bad, ugly, whatever. But we'll test them out and we'll let you know. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you on the next one.